Hello everybody, my name is Ian Lamont. I'm the author of Lean Media and the Lean Media video series available from leanmedia.org. Today I'm going to be talking about Amazon advertising, and there is a new look and feel to the dashboard, and I wanted to talk about some of the highlights of the Amazon advertising dashboard, which looks pretty clean and also has maybe a couple new ways of looking at data, which is pretty helpful. So the first thing that you'll notice about the new dashboard setup is portfolios are really visible, easily visible on the left side of the screen. And that's actually a pretty good thing if you have a lot of campaigns. I highly recommend that within your account you use the create a portfolio feature. And basically you could call this like sponsored product ads 2020 or something like that, and then put all of the relevant campaigns into that portfolio. And then when you open it up, you can see what the portfolios are. So these are portfolios that I've individually created for all the different products that I have. And if I want to see them, I can just go, click on Acid. This is for one of the books that I sell, Acid Reflux in 30 Minutes. And then it will show me all of the campaigns that I put in there. So this is a pretty helpful thing to have. Now, going back to all campaigns, this is the kind of the central view of where everything is happening. This is the default view, and there are a couple problems with the default view. The first thing is that oftentimes they're emphasizing data that is not so useful to you or even a little bit misleading. I've spoken about this before, but ACOS, advertising cost of sales, this is basically the amount of spend divided by the sales you've had in a certain period, reflects as a percentage. Highly misleading because sales includes Amazon's sales, Amazon's revenue, as well as your own revenue. So you may think that, oh wow, 25% or 35%, I'm looking pretty good. Actually, the true number you may be interested in is how much you're spending for your own revenue, and that percentage will be much higher, sometimes even above 100%, which means you're losing money. So you really have to keep on top of the true numbers that you need to know to evaluate your campaigns, and pay less attention to these two figures right here. Spend is pretty useful though. Impressions, that just shows how many times the ad has been shown. Basically, those are free. Amazon's giving them to you for free, but what you really want are conversions to sales, and I'll show you some information on how to get that particular data. So let's move down here, and this is the default view of the campaigns. And it'll show you a lot of data here: start date, end date, budget, spend, orders, sales, ACOS, etc. And plus, you can copy something if you want to create a copy of a certain campaign that's performing well. Maybe tweak the settings a little bit. You can do that easily by clicking that. But do not stick with the default columns that they've given you. What you want are the columns that can help you make decisions. So budget. Most of my campaigns are between $10 and $25 per day. That's not really a useful figure. And also end date. Almost rarely do I have an end date set for my campaign. So this is also something that's not very helpful to be here. I'd rather have information that I can use to help me make decisions about my business. So what I do is you click on columns, then customize columns, and then you can choose the data that's shown. So here's what I want to see: the cost per click, how much I'm spending every time somebody clicks on an ad in a campaign. Click-through rate, that's also huge. It's called CTR. This means like if you show your ad to 1,000 people and 100 of them actually click through to see the product, you have a click-through rate of 10%. Usually it's not that high, but that's also an important metric of how well a campaign is doing overall. I don't need to see budget. I don't need to see end date. Sometimes I like to see start date to see how long a campaign's been going for. I also don't need to see type or portfolio, because usually when I'm naming my ads, I name the type right in them. So for instance, my sponsored product ads, all of those campaigns, they have SP in the name. So this is information that's more useful to me. Maybe I'll put in impressions and clicks. ACOS, I've already told you that that's not really a useful thing. Sales is useful just as long as you keep in mind that it also includes Amazon's revenue. So let's hit apply and see what it looks like. All right. So this gives you a much different view of how things are going. And note this: for some of the campaigns I'm running, there's no impressions, no clicks, no CTR, no spend. this tells me there's a problem with the ad, and I need to look into what that is. Maybe even contact Amazon Advertising to see what's up. So here's a new campaign that I have. This shows a pretty low click-through rate, so right away I'll know, oh, that maybe that's something I should look into. 0.4%. So that means if I have like 1,000 impressions, only 4 people are actually clicking through to see the ad, which is not good. Basically, you want it to be at least 0.3%. That is 30 out of 1,000 impressions lead to someone clicking on the ad. So if it's less than that, and both of these are less than that, I want to take a look at that. But you can see here these campaigns are doing much better. This campaign down here even has above 1%, which is pretty good. CPC. This again is another hugely important piece of information you want to know. Cost per click. And if I'm spending 50 cents per click on a campaign and I'm not getting any orders or sales, yeah, I want to know what's going on with that. So I might take a look at that. Anyways, that's an overview of just basically how to set the view for the new Amazon advertising dashboard, and pay attention to the data that's most important. I have lots of videos on how to get the most out of Amazon advertising, Amazon Seller, and other Amazon programs on my Lean Media YouTube channel, and also the Amazon Deep Dive. Go to leanmedia.org and click on video to find out more. Thank you so much for watching.